down here?
Yes, sir.
Heard down here? Yes, sir.
Well, I'm a vote yes.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, May the 11th, 2026. We'd like to welcome a large gathering this evening in our council chambers, as well as those who will be joining us online. I believe we also have some citizens in the hallway as far as in a spillover area. And so we want to welcome all of you to our council meeting tonight. At this time, I'll call on our city secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Mr. Mitter?
Here.
Ms. Hart?
Here.
Ms. Page? Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here. We do have Councilmember Page absent this evening, so with that said, I will be voting on matters that come before the council this evening. And at this time, we'll have Councilmember Steve Thompson provide the invocation and pledge. If everyone will please stand who's not currently standing, I'd appreciate it.
Please bow. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for this day, the beautiful day that we've had here in Texarkana. Please guide us as we try to meet the needs of the city and all the residents of the city and meet their wishes to the best of our ability. Bless us and guide us. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to present a proclamation pertaining to mental health awareness. And if we have Ms. Brenda Clark and Linda Hooks here with Health Corps, Community Health Corps, what I will do is read the proclamation, and then I will step down and present it to you all after I complete it. Dawn, thank you for being here as well. So this proclamation reads as follows. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas with early and effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas Community Health Corps is the local mental health authority assisting residents in 9 East Texas counties, including Bowie County, and whereas Community Health Corps provides 24 hours, 7 days a week crisis hotline, mental health outpatient and inpatient services, skills training, and support services for children and adults. And whereas Community Health Corps served 1,997 Texarkana, Texas residents in fiscal year 2025. Now, therefore, I, Bob Brugman, Mayor of the City of Texarkana, Texas, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Texarkana. I also call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Texarkana, Texas to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental illnesses. Signed this 11th day of May 2026. I have signed the proclamation. It's been attested by Jennifer Evans, City Secretary, and the city seal has been affixed to the proclamation. So at this time, ladies, I will step down and present the proclamation to you. And if you have any words you would like to share, you're welcome to do so. All right, be right there.
I just want want to say I've been with Community Health Corps for about 12 years now. I've been a registered nurse for, this month starts my 46th year. And yes, I did start when I was 5. So I just encourage all of you, if you need help, call us. Law enforcement will tell you. I'm on call 24/7. I've been that way for 30 years. I just love taking care of people, and that's what I was designed to do.
My name is Linda Hooks, and I am on the Board of Trustees at Community Health Corps, and I serve as president. And like she said, anytime you need us, give us a call.
Don doesn't want to say anything, so anyway. So at this time, I'm going to hold up the proclamation, and then we have some photo opportunities here, and then we'll move along. And thank you all for everything you do in the community, and we certainly appreciate your presence here this evening. Okay? All right. Thank you, ladies. All right, appreciate you being here. At this time, we'll move along to Mayor's remarks and items of community interest. I don't really have any personal remarks to make this evening, so I want to make everyone aware of upcoming events that we have taking place in our community. As a reminder, our next City Council meeting will be held on Monday, June the 8th, followed by July the 13th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. In reference to parks and recreation activities, May 15th through the 17th, we'll have the Texarkana Pickleball Club Summer Tournament, which will be held at the Southwest Center. May 16th and 17th is the Bat Wilson Sports Tournament at Swanger Complex. May 23rd and 24th is the USSSA Big League Chew Knit at Swanger Complex in Spring Lake Park. May 30th and 31st is the Bat Pre-All-Stars Tournament at Swanger. June 6th and 7th, the NCS Be Like CJ 2026 tournament will be held at the Swanger Complex. Also, in reference to our summer highlights, it's hard to believe that it's that time of the year for school to be letting out and we begin our summer activities. But in reference to summer highlights, the Texarkana Farmers Market will be open every Saturday beginning May through August the 1st from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. noon at 500 North State Line Avenue, which is in the shadows of our federal courthouse downtown. Also, Movies in the Park at Spring Lake Park will be held on May the 25th, June the 4th, and June the 11th. And as we get closer to those dates, we'll provide those titles. And additional parks and recreation information can be found on the city's website. Also would like to recognize we have a new city manager intern who was interning with us at the city, and it's Shanesa Solomon. Shanesa, would you please stand? Okay, let's give her a nice welcome. And we certainly hope that your time here is informative to you, so thank you for taking the time and the effort to be a part of the city of Texarkana, Texas. Thank you, ma'am. In reference to our Perot Theater upcoming shows, the Judith McCarty School of Dance will present the 81st Review on May 16th. That's this coming Saturday at 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. The All-Stars Dance Center will present Iconic on May the 30th at 7 p.m., and then the All Rhythm Dance Alley will present A Taste of Dance on June the 5th at 5 p.m. And tickets for the Pro Theater shows are available at perottheater.org. At this time, move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience this evening who would like to share any information with the council, you're welcome to do so. However, if you are here this evening and you're wanting to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, then I'll ask if you'll please wait until we get to that public hearing item. We'll be more than happy to listen to your comments at that particular time. We also ask those who are wanting to address the council to fill out one of these forms that can be found by the door. We do have several forms that have been filled out this evening. Once again, you will have up to 5 minutes to speak, and it will be timed. Our first speaker or citizen who would like to address the council this evening is Terry Henderson Sr., and he would like to speak to the council on the subject of code enforcement. Mr. Henderson? And if you don't mind, if everyone who's speaking will come to the podium here, and then we also ask that you please state your name for the record.
Terry Henderson.
Good evening,
Senior.
Mr. Henderson.
I'm here because they want me to move my RV to a RV camp in the city limits and pay $100 a month. Where I got my own property, got my own electricity, it's all up to city code, and I'm disabled, and I can't be moving that camper around every time they want me to move it. And my house burnt in October, and so I'm just got my name on the housing authority to get an apartment, and got an application in with the city to tear down my place and build me a home. And so I'm just trying to get temporary electricity back on until I can get into housing or to they get started on my house. Because, I'm disabled and I'm on oxygen, and so I just can't be moving that camper. And I can't pay, I only make $1,200 a month. So I can't pay $800 and pay my bills too. And so I'm just trying to get electricity and temporarily until I can get into housing or till they get the paperwork deed straightened out on me so they can start building me a house. And that's all I got.
Mr. Henderson, I know that our city staff has been in contact with you as far as our guidelines pertaining to, what you're wanting to do. So, there's been some follow-up on that.
But there is other trailers just got their houses hooked up, and they're in the city, too, and they got electricity.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, sir. Our next speaker this evening is, and I may pronounce this last name incorrectly. The first name is Haley. Is it Roser? Is that correct? Okay, yes, ma'am. If you'll please come forward. She would like to address the council in reference to the Alzheimer's Wine Fest. Ms. Roser, if you'll please come forward and also share with us who you have with you this evening. So.
Hi there, my name is Haley Roser, and we had a miscommunication on who had the kids, and so I got them dressed and brought them with me. And so I'm
Go
just
ahead and give us their names for the
yes,
record.
this is Jack. Say hi. And this is Annie.
Okay.
And they're so fun. I'm here today on behalf of the Alzheimer's Alliance and the Texarkana Twice as Fine Texarkana Wine Festival to just say thank you for allowing us again to hold our 11th wine festival at Spring Lake Park. I don't know if y'all have had the opportunity to come, but it is just an incredible event that the city continues to allow us to put on year after year. Terry Arnold is our executive director, and she wasn't able to be here tonight, so she asked me to come for the first time with my children. So this is a fun new experience for all of us. And there's just a few people that I want to thank. Donnie Sparks with the city. We could not do it without the Parks and Rec crew. They are just incredible, and I'm going to butcher everybody's name, but Jerry Tittle and Jason Lawrence and Jessica Cook and Keith Beeson and Ross Cowling, and just the incredible crew. On my volunteer list, we have 200 volunteers that help put this on and 35 committee members. That's 3 people that come from the Alzheimer's Alliance office. Myself and my husband are the chairman after Mark and Kathy Van Herpen have done an incredible job, and they've passed the torch on to us, and we're on year 3, and I can, oh, don't touch that. Don't look in that drawer. And we're so fortunate and blessed to have this event in our community, and I do know these numbers, but because I had my kids, I had to write them down. This event with our sponsorships, we're so blessed by our sponsors, raised, thank you, $280,000. Wow. And people will ask, we had a sponsor ask us one time, is it worth it? I can tell you that it is absolutely worth it, because that $280,000 goes to 75%. It all stays local, but that funds 75% of the Alzheimer's Alliance and the respite care that we provide for the Our Place Respite Center. And what that is that is a place where caregivers can drop off their loved ones. We call them friends with dementia, other forms of Alzheimer's, and they have a day to go take care of themselves. We know that caregivers, their life expectancy decreases dramatically by being in a caregiver position. And so just being able to provide, I'm just trying to ignore them, these services 3 days a week, we are so fortunate. So all of the money stays local. There is another event that is put on by another the Alzheimer's Association, and that is not us. We are the Alzheimer's Alliance. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did, so it's on the record. That is local money. That money is staying local, and we had 35 Parks members, I think, working that event last week, and we are just so blessed. So I'm not going to use all my time up because I feel like I've talked enough, but just thank y'all again, and we look forward to it every year.
Thank you. Well, it's certainly a great organization in our community, and it's also, it takes a lot of volunteers and leadership to make it work, and so just commend you. This event seems like it grows each and every year.
Every year.
A worthy cause. You certainly had great weather this year.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And if
so.
you haven't been out, I see a few people that I recognize that were in attendance.
Yes, ma'am. So.
But everybody should come out next year.
Okay.
First weekend in May.
Okay.
Thank
All
y'all.
right, then. Thank you. All right. I think it's around the clock, yes. Okay, our next citizen who would like to address the council is Alicia. Is it Utz? Utz? Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. Would like to address the council in reference to data centers and solar farms. Ms. Utz, if you'll please state your name for the record. Thank you for being here this evening.
I'm Alicia Utz, and we moved here about 9 years ago. My husband's prior military, and after living a lot of different places through that career, we decided to make this our home. And I'm really concerned about the things that I'm beginning to see popping up: data centers, solar farms, trying to steal our water. So there's a lot going on, and I think that the water issue ties into the data centers because it's going to have to take a lot of water to make those function. And so I just encourage everyone to do your own research. Find out what's going on with these data centers and the demand that they'll have on our community. They'll take a lot of water. They'll take, obviously, land. And possibly they'll be taking power from our power grid, too. So do your research and get out there and speak your voice, because that's how things change, is if you take a proactive role in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Utz. All right. Next speaker this evening is Mr. Jim Trent, who would like to address the council in reference to new AI data center. Mr. Trent, if you'll please state your name for the record, and welcome to our meeting.
My name is Jim Trent. Thank you so much for having me. Isn't it wonderful that we have an opportunity to speak to our local government like this? This is what makes this the greatest country in the world. So on the subject, to follow the lady's comments of the data centers, a lot has been said about water usage and the effects of our electrical infrastructure, and those are large concerns. But we also need to consider the future when we look at new developments in Texarkana. Some of you are older than me, and some of you are not older than me, but I remember the 1990s dot-com bubble. Ladies and gentlemen, $570 billion was invested into AI just this year by 5 major corporations. And yet AI produces less than $40 billion worth of revenue. That's investment to revenue of that magnitude of a difference. That's a bubble, and it's going to pop. And it's going to pop sometime in the next couple of years. And we're going to be left with a 4,000-acre facility, half-built or empty. Because when that pop comes, those 120 jobs everybody's been talking about on the social media, they're not going to be there anymore. We're going to have a big empty husk of a building sitting out at Texamerica that we don't know what to do with. That's if it even gets open, because the pop may come before then. We have to think about these things when we look at development. People say, what can the city do? And I forgive for my shaking. I've got Parkinson's. It gives me the shakes every once in a while. I forgive that. I'm not terribly nervous, although I am a little nervous. I haven't talked in front of this many people since high school. But what can we do? Well, cities do have leverage. We have code enforcement. We have environmental impact studies and recommendations. We have the right to review structures and facilities and businesses that operate in our community. And I would urge the city, I would urge this body to look into an investigative committee formed of citizens to investigate and make recommendations to the city on this specific development, because this is not something that is going away. Even if this development does not survive the coming bust in the AR market, and it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. And it's my opinion that when this market goes south and we suffer a micro recession because of it, just as we did with the dot-com bust in the 90s and the housing bust in the early 2000s, that they're not going to give up the data center in Dallas, Texas. They're not going to give up the data center in San Antonio. They're not going to cut those big city data centers that can absorb the blow and have the infrastructure support them. They're going to cut the little town data centers. They're going to cut the Texarkanas. They're going to cut places like Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Beauchamp, Georgia, and the other places that are facing the same challenges and the same questions that we are talking about tonight. So we need to have an investigative committee that looks into, A, what are the impacts going to be to Texarkana's infrastructure from this new development, and B, should that bust come, and we have to be prepared for that. We have to be mature and responsible about emerging technology markets and how volatile they are. And if that comes, what are the recourses and the adjustments and the way to absorb the blow for our community? The way the city does that is through its leverage, through zoning and code enforcement, and the way that the city finds out what it can do is through investigative committees of citizens who are dedicated, expressing their desires, looking into what they've heard from their friends and neighbors, and then working with the city attorney and the city office to find out exactly what is possible through code enforcement and through city legal action and code development to make sure that should the worst happen, and there's going to be a lot of people tonight who are going to talk about water and electricity, so I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about, I just wanted to bring up the fact that there is a very good chance that this development is not going to go anywhere. And we're going to get stuck with a 4,000-acre facility on our hands, and 120 jobs born and then lost for 4,000 acres seems like a poor exchange to me, just a poor exchange. I'd like to wrap up by saying this is a great city, and we're very fortunate to live here. Thank you so much for the time.
Next citizen who would like to address the council is Melissa Sturgeon in reference to Water, Health, and Pollution Data Center. Ms. Sturgeon, if you'll please state your name for the record. Thank you for being here this evening.
Hello, my name is Melissa Sturgeon, and I have notes because I'm nervous. I'm here today because about 2/3 of all data centers built since 2022 are in areas already experiencing water issues and water stress. According to Bloomberg, that includes lots of Texas. Our community deserves transparency, health protections, and environmental safeguards. And we deserve a voice in decisions that will shape our air, our water, our bills, and our quality of life for decades. A single data center can use up to 5 million gallons of water per day. That's equal to 16,000 plus households. We already have 400 plus data centers in Texas, many in water-stressed regions, and experts warn that upcoming mega projects will strain local water supplies even further. Frontiers in Public Health reports that air, noise, and water pollution from data centers increase the risk of all kinds of diseases, all kinds, from respiratory to heart to stroke to diabetes, miscarriage, asthma, lung disease, hypertension. There's a lot of hum that goes on with the radiators, with the data centers, and people can't sleep. Noise and air pollution harm children's learning and developing lungs. And it's terrible. And I found a Virginia resident, her name is Donna Gallant, and she said, the noise literally rocks your core. I can't sleep. I haven't slept in months. Also, residents near data centers are already seeing huge bill spikes. Consumer Reports quoted John Steinbeck in Virginia, I got a $281 bill after being $100 a month for over 10 years. He said, Consumer Reports says electricity prices rose 7.1% in 2025. Lastly, residents reported contaminated wells, damaged roofs, and heavy truck traffic near the construction sites. And the high voltage transmission lines are being placed directly through people's yards. I grew up in rural Ohio, and those things are loud. They're very, very loud. And as one resident told Consumer Reports, the noise of the cooling equipment, unlike your air conditioner, when you're sitting outside, it'll shut off and it won't annoy you all day. It'll come back on. But the equipment at the data centers that never shuts off, and the communities living near it are truly living in hell. I'm asking this council to put the people first and say no to this proposed data center, because once these facilities are built, we live with the consequences, not the companies. Thank you.
All right, next citizen who'd like to address the council, I hope I'm reading this correctly, Paige Burkhalter, is that correct? Is that correct? Yes, ma'am, okay. If you'll please come forward and state your name for the record, please.
Paige Burkhalter.
Yes, ma'am.
So I honestly, I saw about the AI data centers as well, and just kind of out of frustration created this petition online that sort of blew up. And it now has 2,433 signatures. We've had 49 promoters totaling $560.96 just to make sure that it had more views. And then there were 39 comments on just the petition alone, not including what was on social media, and all of the concerns that were addressed there. So I actually printed off several summary pages if y'all wanted a copy, just up to you. But that's really all I had.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for your time, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Do I bring this up to you guys?
How many copies of those do you have?
I have 10.
Okay, if you'll please provide one with the city secretary as well, so we'll have that on the record. Okay, our next citizen who would like to address the council, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of having a difficult time reading the writing here. Is the last name, is it Burton? Something T-O-N. Ma'am, what is your name, ma'am?
Sandy Burton.
Okay, Ms. Burton. Okay, got you. Okay, if you'll please come forward, and if you'll state your name for the record, please. Ms. Burton would like to address the council in reference to pollution, utility cost, in conjunction with data centers. Okay, Ms. Burton, thank you.
Yes, Sandy Burton. I've been in Texarkana since 2009. I found myself a local boy and man, and put my roots in this town. I love this town. I love the history of it. Look into Texarkana at one point was the rat capital of America. I mean, who has that history? the mob, the brothels, all of it. Love this town. Such nitty-gritty history. I don't want this to be a part of our history. And I'm a therapist. I have enough on my plate. There's enough people around here that are depressed and anxious. Way too many people. This is going to add to it. The pollution, the noise pollution, the vibrations, taking away from more land, ruining the ecosystem. And there has been saying that it's not going to interfere with our utilities, but there are plenty of people who are going through this that are saying that it is. Well, maybe they were promised beforehand, but they ended up getting a higher bill at some point, even though they were told otherwise. I think definite research needs to go into this, and I hope that our voices will be heard and we can find a way to not do this facility. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all the sheets that I had filled out. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening during comments from the public? Okay, not seeing anyone else coming forward. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Okay, have you filled out a form? I have not. Okay, okay. Okay, that's fine. You can go ahead and speak, and then ask that you please fill out a form before you leave. And if you don't mind, please state your name for the record, please.
Do I need to step right here?
Yes, ma'am, in front of the microphone.
Okay. My name is Shannon Rose. I was born and raised here. I'm just going to give you the same spiel I gave Tex America, because it's what I have ready. Something my daddy always taught me was to listen for the birds to sing. That's how you know you're safe. With the things that are going on, that's going to be something we can't depend on anymore. How are we going to know we're safe if we can't listen to the environment around us to tell us how safe we are? I've heard say that they're looking for companies that benefit the region. What are these benefits that are coming, and how will these companies benefit and not harm the region that for the people who live here? There's already proof that there's insurmountable amount of damage that is already happening. They mention looking for the right area is important. I don't understand what makes Texarkana the right area, because the proof that I see and the research that I've done is that data centers are overwhelmingly sited in marginalized communities already struggling with over-industrialization, hazardous conditions, and not to mention poverty, high rates of chronic illness, and limited access to health care. Doesn't that sound like Texarkana? And this is all according to a recent report by the Caper Foundation. Just so you know, I'm not speaking from AI. I'm speaking from a literal foundation. So I'll ask again, what makes Texarkana the right place for these AI plants and these lithium plants? What are the benefits that we are supposed to be expecting that will suddenly save our town? And do they outweigh the health of the people in the area? Because I don't think so.
Ma'am, yeah. Anyone else want to address the council?
How are y'all? My name's W.D. Lacey. I lived here all my life. When you talk about jobs, they're just temporary. Once the 120 jobs are done, they'll let everybody go and call people from out of town. Air quality, they got diesel generators, cooling, produces poor air quality. We're already in the yellow. If you think about the paper mills, we're already in the yellow for bad quality air. They produce PM 2.5 tiny particles into the lungs and the bloodstream. Nitrous oxide gases will also get in your lungs and mess that up as well. You want to talk about a carbon footprint that they're trying to get rid of? It's going to be a big carbon footprint, about the size of New York City. Noise pollution, like I stated before, There's a high demand for electricity, and it emits a nitrogen oxide in the gas or in the air, which we consume. We sleep, we hunt, we fish in this area. We do not want it to be contaminated. We want this to go as far away as possible. You know, you see video after video about how they, like what the data centers are doing to their community, and it's nothing good. Everything's dying. The animals are dying. The ponds are drying up. Yeah, but just do your research. This is something we don't want in this town or around this town. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Anyone else? Now be sure if you have not filled out a sheet and you address the council, you need to fill out a sheet and turn it in before you leave. Thank you, sir. Just please state your name for the record.
My name's Robert Clark. Most of y'all don't know me. Some of you do. I am a mail carrier here in town as well as an HVAC installer and technician. This town has raised some of the best people I've ever met in my life. And these jobs that this company is promising is fake. These are 150 so-called jobs, 98% of which will be trade jobs. Not your local tradesmen, not people like me. This is people who will be bussed in from out of town. When these jobs are done, they will be sent on to the next data center. All of your bills, your electric bill, your water bill, guaranteed they will go up. If you look at every data center that is opened around this country, the prices of water and the prices of electricity have increased afterwards, every single time. Now, Mr. Mayor, most of these people in this town can't afford the suit you're wearing, sir. They certainly cannot afford for their water bill to double or their power bill to triple. This town is already having issues with water. You look on Facebook every day and you can see people whose water bill has doubled and tripled in the previous months. Now, I believe that everybody in this town deserves a fair shake. And building this data center, filling it with 150 full-time jobs, is absolutely a lie. These jobs are trade jobs, and they will be shipped off to the next state when the next data center opens up. The few jobs that will remain here are high-paying tech positions, probably 5 or 10 of them, and they will be bussed in from out of town too. Somebody has already been signed up to lead this thing, I promise you, and their salary is magnificent. But they will be brought in from out of state. It will not be anybody in Texarkana making any money or making any progress off of this data center. Now, I do believe Tex Americas will probably get a good chunk of money, and I believe Texarkana will probably get a good chunk of money. But all of you sitting on this council know for a fact this data center is not good for our community.
Sir? Anybody else? Okay, at this time we'll move along to our open forum. We did open forum comments from the public. At this time, we'll move along to appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Do we have any appointments to be made this evening? Mr. Davis?
I have a reappointment, and this is going to be for the Budget Advisory Committee, Steve Mayo.
Okay, all right.
Same.
Mr. Mayor?
I have a reappointment as well for the Budget Advisory Committee, and it's Kelly Mitchell.
Okay, very good. Mr. Thompson?
I have a reappointment to the Budget Advisory Committee, Eric Kane.
Okay. Ms. Hart?
I have a reappointment to the Budget Advisory Committee, Melba Flowers.
Okay. Ms. Matlock?
Yes, I have a new appointment to the Budget Advisory Committee for FY 26-27, Mr. William Perry.
Okay, all right. And I also have some to share this evening as well in reference to the Budget Advisory Committee. I would like to appoint Brandon Murray. This will be for Councilmember Page's appointment to the Budget Advisory Committee. Brandon Murray, he will be a new appointment. And then I also would like my appointment would be a reappointment of Mr. Van Alexander to serve on the Budget Advisory Committee. And then also I have, We have the newly formed loan committee that was passed by the council, and so I would like to nominate the following individuals to serve on that loan committee, and they are Kayla Wood, Diane Martin, Philip Mobley, Robin Hickerson, Rob Sitterly, and Stephen Harvey. And then I have one more. This will be a reappointment, and it is Mr. Ben King to the Tex Americas Center. So are there any other appointments or reappointments to be made at this time? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Is there a motion for approval of those names that have been placed in nomination for a reappointment or for appointment?
So, second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock, a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. I want to thank those citizens who are being reappointed and those who have been newly appointed. We certainly want to thank you for your service. At this time, move along to our items for consideration. We do have several items this evening on the consent agenda. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on April 13th, 2026. Item 2 is ordinance number 2026-049, repealing ordinance number 97-2012 that established the EPA Brownfields Revolving Loan Committee, replaced and expanded with the loan committee created by resolution number 2026-042. Item 3, resolution number 2026-063, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport interim director to execute an agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration to relocate federally owned navigational aids in the amount not to exceed $895,754.13, utilizing specified appropriations, grants, and city's budgeted matching funds. Item number 4, resolution number 2026-077, approving the submission of the 2026 Homeland Security Grant application to the Artex Council of Governments to purchase 6 mobile radios for an amount not to exceed $52,552.88 that will be funded 100% by the grant. Item number 5, resolution number 2026-078, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Holistic Utility Solutions to provide HVAC upgrades at the Southwest Center using an Energy Conservation Office grant in an amount not to exceed $250,000. Item number 6, resolution number 2026-079, approving the proposed locations for the Texas Historical Commission markers honoring Morris Shepherd, William Wright Patman, Corrine Griffith, Doretha Church, as well as the relocation of the Scott Joplin marker in order to support historically significant people, places, and resources. Item number 7, resolution number 2026-080, authorizing the submission of a home application to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs and authorizing the city manager to act as the city's executive officer and authorize representative in all matters pertaining to the city's participation in the home program utilizing awarded grant funds. Item number 8, resolution number 2026-081, approving a revision to the city's employee policy manual to address compensation for exempt public safety personnel who are deployed in support of declared emergency operations. Item number 9, resolution number 2026-082, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport interim director to execute an agreement with McClellan Engineering to administer the construction of runway 4-22 extension in an amount not to exceed $709,743.52 to be paid from a grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. Item number 10, resolution number 2026-083, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport interim executive director to execute a contract with Tatum Excavating Company of Texarkana, Texas, as low bidder on the runway 4-22 extension, overlay, and taxiway Delta extension construction project in an amount not to exceed $15,786,713 utilizing specified appropriations, grants, and budgeted matching funds. Item number 11, resolution number 2026-084, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Interim Director to execute an agreement with McClellan Engineering to administer the construction of runway 4-22 overlay and taxiway extension in amount not to exceed $625,000 to be paid from a grant from the state of Arkansas. Item number 12, resolution number 2026-090, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Interim Executive Director securing from the federal government for the runway 4-22 extension, overlay, and taxiway Delta extension construction project, all remaining federal funding not to exceed the total federal participation of $20.8 million allocated to the project. Unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further consideration, I will approve or entertain a motion for the consent agenda to be approved as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. At this time, the council is going to be going into closed session. We don't anticipate to be in closed session very long. The City Council will convene into closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, personnel matters to discuss or deliberate the reappointment of Sherry L. Jackson as City Judge of the city's Municipal Court of Record. So the council is going to be going into the conference room rather, a short distance down the hallway to go into closed session. Then we will reconvene back in the council chambers for open session and reconvene our meeting. So once again, we don't anticipate to be in closed session very long, and we certainly appreciate your time and your patience, and we should be back in a very short period of time. And let's see. I've got something I need to read, Jennifer, on the closed session. Yes. Just to reiterate, for guests in the audience and those watching on live stream, the council will go into closed session. After reconvening in open session, the council has one action item to consider. Live streaming will resume at that time. And once again, we thank you for your patience.
got enough vents too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We got two. See where the mayor is sitting. I'd like to sit where the mayor's sitting, because he doesn't get the air blown on him, because he's right under it.
Yeah, it don't come down, straight down.
And I wish I was here where he's sitting. The air don't get on me. That's why when I go to church, I try to sit on the back row because of the air. It goes right on my neck. I haven't even just been going to Sunday school. I'm listening to it on the radio. Because one day it was cold. It was like 45 or 50. I can't do that.
Well, where I sit at, they turn the fan on. As long as the fan ain't on, I got my extra shawl at the church.
I take my coat. This lady told me. She said she sits up in the front. It's not as bad. If you sit up to the front. So I'm probably like this far, probably like where he is, where you are. That's how close I am to the vents. You know, it's up high, but it's blowing on my neck.
Probably prudent to have the person.
Yeah, and it'd be all right. Just one person sits on the front row, and I sit on the fourth row. They'll turn the fan on. Nobody turns the fan on with him because they know it's old, cold.
That's right, that's what I was thinking.
Some of them young folks be talking about
If
the
they
cold.
count the votes that way, move it next month and then readdress it.
Won't bring a jacket.
All right, very good. Be at the onset. Yeah, when we get to the item, then there would be, before we proceed further.
Well, they depending on us passing this thing.
Okay, everyone, the council is back in session. It is currently 7:15 p.m. We are back in session. Just 1 second. Okay, once again, the council is back in open session. I certainly want to thank you for your patience and your time bearing with us as we went through our closed session. We do have one action item this evening. It's item 1, which is ordinance number 2026-089, the reappointing of Sherry Jackson Hawkins as municipal judge of the Municipal Court of Record in the city of Texarkana, Texas for a 2-year term. And so is there a motion on this particular item by the council?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock, and we have a second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, reappointing Sherry Jackson Hawkins, J.D., as municipal judge of the Municipal Court of Record in the City of Texarkana, Texas, for a 2-year term, approving a compensation agreement and determining the salary for the office of municipal judge and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passes unanimously. Judge Hawkins, thank you very much for your service to the city of Texarkana, Texas. Okay, at this time, move along to our first briefings portion of the agenda. Let me get my notes here. We do have several first briefing items. Item 1 is ordinance number 2026-045, amending sections 18-4 and 18-5 of the Code of Ordinances with the adoption of the International Fire Code 2024 edition with certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendices. And we have our fire chief, Chief Chris Black, to brief the council on this item. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Well, we are looking to adopt the 2024 edition of the International Fire Code. We're currently under the 2018. A couple of reasons. We want to align with inspections and code enforcement as they just recently adopted to 2024 and kind of stay in line with them and not have discrepancies. In the past, being several years off, we would have discrepancies between what we were trying to tell people. So now we'll all be in line and have the same code year. Another thing, there's so much new technology and new stuff coming out. We want to be on top of it, for the safety of our citizens in our city, of course. Give you a couple of things on there, not go through the whole list and take up all your time. A couple of big things are, lithium-ion batteries are a big deal. So storage on those now is a big thing. So sprinkler systems, fire alarms. So there's whole sections dedicated to just that right now. Right now, we don't have that in the city, but, we do have it in the code, so we would be prepared for it if that comes up. Updated sprinkler systems, again, like for lithium-ion batteries. Occupiable roof systems, like, a lot of new stuff for new buildings, building new residential areas. So now we have what they call a occupiable roof. It doesn't count as a floor, but those occupiable roofs now have certain parameters they have to meet. If it's over 3 floors, they have to have an elevator going up to them. They have to have emergency egress coming down from them. So that kind of meets some of the stuff going on around here now. Another thing, carbon monoxide detectors, new requirement for those in all buildings that anything that can have a carbon monoxide source in it will require a carbon monoxide detector in it now. Before, there wasn't a requirement. It's always recommended. We suggested it, but now it is a requirement for most of these. Also gives the fire code official, like myself, the fire marshal, more flexibility in meeting the codes. If somebody's working on something, we have more flexibility to kind of help meet the code and help them get there without too many problems. That's really the biggest things and the things that most affect stuff in our city.
Okay.
If there's any questions or anything I can answer, I'd be glad to.
Any questions for Chief Black in reference to this item? Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Appreciate your service. Items numbers 2 and 3 are related, so I'm going to read both captions on those, and then Michelle Daniel is going to brief the council on these 2 items. Item 2 is ordinance number 2026-058, rezoning on Lot 6, Block 21, Avondale Addition, located at 515 Robbins Street in Ward 1, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, Inez Dixon owner, Samuel Augustus agent. Item 3 is ordinance number 2026-059, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on Lot 6, Block 21, Avondale Addition, located at 515 Robbins Street in Ward 1, Inez Dixon owner and Samuel Augustus agent. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Council. So this is a request to rezone 515 Robbins Street from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, and for a specific use permit for a HUD code manufactured home. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood residential. The adjacent zoning is Single Family 2 to the north, south, east, and west, and the adjacent land use is vacant lots to the north, south, east, and west. Planning and Zoning recommend approval for both requests with the following stipulations: that when 2021 or newer HUD code manufactured home be allowed on the property, that the home be tied down, skirted, and underpinned, and that the home be used for dwelling purposes only. The home also, all driveways, parking, and building codes must be in accordance with the City of Texarkana, Texas codes. And I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michelle on these 2 items? Okay. Move along to item number 4, ordinance number 2026-064, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on an approximate .69 acre tract of land being tract 19-19A, M&P Railway Headright Survey, A-434, located at 1106 Hatton Street in Ward 2, Juan Tarica Moss, owner. Michelle?
Good evening again. So this is a request for a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home at 1106 Hatton Street. The parcel is currently zoned Single Family 3. The future land use map has designated this property as industrial. The adjacent zoning is Industrial 1 to the south and west and Single Family 2 to the north and east. The adjacent land use is vacant lots to the south, west, north, and east. Planning and Zoning recommend approval of this request with the following stipulations: that a 1998 or newer HUD code manufactured home be allowed on this property. The outside of the home and shutters be freshly painted. The home will have new underpinning. A new front porch will be installed, and the home will be tied down, skirted, and underpinned, and for dwelling purposes only. All driveways, parking, and building codes also must be in accordance with the city codes, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, we'll now move along. Items 5, 6, and 7 are related, so I will read those concurrently. Ordinance number 2026-066, rezoning Lot 22 and half of Lot 20, Block 6, H.S. Janes Headright Survey A-306, located at 4307 Gazola Street in Ward 2, from Planned Development Agriculture to Planned Development Commercial. Inez Dixon, owner. Joe Thomas, agent. Item 6, ordinance number 2026-067, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of an outdoor off-premise advertising sign or billboard on Lot 22 and half of Lot 20, Block 6, H.S. Janes, located at 4307 Gazola Street in Ward 2. Inez Dixon, owner. Joe Thomas, agent. Item number 7, ordinance number 2026-068, amending PD-23-3 for site plan approval on Lot 22 and half of Lot 20, Block 6, H.S. Janes, located at 4307 Gazola Street in Ward 2. Inez Dixon, owner. Joe Thomas, agent. Michelle?
So, as you said, these are requests to rezone 4307 Gazola Street from Planned Development Agriculture to Planned Development Commercial, for a specific use permit to allow a billboard, and for site plan approval of the placement of the billboard. The future land use map has designated this property as industrial. The adjacent zoning is Industrial 1 to the north, I-369 to the west, Single Family 2 to the south, and Commercial to the east. The adjacent land use is Equipment Service to the north, I-369 to the west, a vacant lot south, and residential to the east. Planning and zoning approved the zoning change. Planning and zoning approved this specific use permit with the following stipulations: that all city codes must be met, and the sign cannot be placed inside a public right-of-way or utility easement. And planning and zoning also approved the site plan, which consisted of the construction of a 14-foot by 48-foot billboard. The access will be off of Gazola Street. There is one parking space for a maintenance crew, and the sewer and water main locations must be accounted for. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions for Michelle on these items? Okay. Items number 8 and 9 are related, so I will read those together. Ordinance number 2026-069, rezoning on the west 164.6 feet of lots 3 through 4. Block 4, Urban Heights, located at 3900 block of Column Street in Ward 2, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3. Randy Pitts, owner. Item number 9 is ordinance number 2026-070, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on the west 164.6 feet of lots 3-4, Block 4, Urban Heights, located at 3900 block, in the 3900 block of Column Street, Ward 2. Randy Pitts, owner. Michelle?
So again, this is a request to rezone some lots in the 3900 block of Column Street from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, and for a specific use permit for a HUD code manufactured home. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood residential. The adjacent zoning is Single Family 2 to the north, south, west, and Single Family 3 and Single Family 2 to the east. The adjacent land use is vacant property to the north and south, residential to the west, and a HUD code manufactured home and residence to the east. The specific use permit includes the stipulations of a 2021 or newer HUD code manufactured home be allowed on the property. The home must be tied down, skirted, and underpinned, and used for human dwelling purposes only. And all driveways, parking, and building codes must be in accordance with the city codes. Staff and planning and zoning approved this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on these items? Okay. Now, moving along with our schedule, items 10 and 11 are related. Item 10 is ordinance number 2026-071, rezoning on lots 6 and 7, Block 5, Newtown Edition, located at 2117 Stevenson Street in Ward 1, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, Jorge Laguna owner. Item number 11 is ordinance number 2026-072, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on lots 6 and 7, block 5, Newtown Edition, located at 2117 Stevenson Street in Ward 1, Jorge Laguna owner. Michelle?
So this is a request to rezone 2117 Stevenson Street from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, and for a specific use permit for a HUD code manufactured home. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood residential. The adjacent zoning is Single Family 2 to the north and west, Single Family 3 to the east, and commercial to the south. The adjacent land use is residential to the north, west, and east, and commercial retail to the south. The stipulations for this specific use permit are a 2021 or newer HUD code manufactured home is to be allowed on the property. The home must be tied down, skirted, or underpinned, and used for dwelling purposes only. All driveways, parking, and building codes must meet the City of Texarkana, Texas codes. Planning and zoning approved at this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Or these items? All right, excuse me. All right, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate your time. All right, item number 12 will be briefed by Mr. Reed Russell, and it pertains to resolution number 2026-075, supporting the nomination and designation of eligible census tracts within the City of Texarkana, Texas as opportunity zones to encourage private investment, economic development, job creation, and community revitalization. Good evening, Reed.
Good evening, Council. So this is just a resolution of support for the federal program that's called Opportunity Zones. So essentially, these are zones that the federal government has identified as meeting a criteria for median family income. And essentially, all it is when a business is interested in developing in those zones, they become eligible for certain federal incentives. So the Texas government is able to submit 25% of its eligible zones in the state to the federal government. One of the criteria for the zones they will be selecting is local support. So that's why we have this resolution, just to show that the Council of Texarkana is interested in supporting these programs and development in Texarkana. So you can see the zones here on this map, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Reed in reference to this item? Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Applause from the city staff. I never get that, but anyway. So. This time, move along to item number 13, and Daphne Ryan is going to brief the council on this item. It pertains to resolution number 2026-076, supporting the redevelopment of Sunset Apartments and providing a resolution of no objection for LIH Texarkana Preservation, LP's application to TDHCA for a 4% low-income housing tax credits. Daphne, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As the Mayor mentioned, this is a request from Ledge Capital for a resolution of no objection for pursuing the long-term preservation of Sunset Apartments through the one-step 4% low-income housing tax credit. This is an existing development that was built in 1974, consists of about 10.5 acres and 18 two-story buildings with 150 units. So the rehabilitation scope, I'm going to let Deborah Reyes from Ledge Capital give you more detail on that. The property is currently zoned multifamily 1, so there will be no zoning changes required at all. Staff recommends approval of this, and I will let Deborah Reyes give you the details on the project.
Okay, all right. Good evening, Deborah. Welcome to our meeting tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Daphne. Mr. Mayor, members of council, for the record, my name is Deborah Reyes. I'm here today speaking on behalf of Ledge Capital. We are the applicant and developer of the Sunset Apartments Rehabilitation Project. I'll be providing you with a very quick, brief overview of the rehabilitation efforts for Sunset Apartments, answering any questions that you might have about the project, and asking for your support of the resolution of no objection, which I understand will take place at your June 8th council meeting. As Daphne mentioned, Sunset Apartments is an existing development. It's located at 1601 Allen Lane in Councilmember Matlock's district. It's situated on approximately 10 and a half acres. Sunset Apartments is made up of 150 residential units spread among 18 two-story walk-up buildings with a mix of 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units. 100% of the existing units are reserved as affordable housing. The rehabilitation of Sunset Apartments, Ledge Capital has entered into a purchase and sale agreement to acquire and rehabilitate Sunset Apartments. They will address deferred maintenance and modernize building systems while maintaining 100% affordability for families earning less than 60% of area median income. The scope of the project includes approximately $8.3 million in hard costs, or $55,000 per unit, for interior unit renovations, exterior unit renovations, exterior property renovations, and site improvements. In addition, Ledge Capital's strategy includes resident-focused supportive services, which will be coordinated with local service providers to promote long-term housing stability for its residents. Some of the interior improvements include upgraded cabinetry, new countertops, installation of Energy Star appliances, new flooring, paint, electrical and plumbing fixture replacements, and new HVAC systems. In addition, 5% of the units will be converted to provide for ADA accessibility. Exterior improvements include new roofs, installation of double pane windows, signage and brickwork, installing safety and security measures such as lighted pathways and security cameras, and for ADA compliance, accessible paths of travel, construction of ramps, parking, and new signage. Other miscellaneous exterior work includes seal coating and striping of the existing parking lots, fence repairs, upgraded landscaping, trash enclosures, and a maintenance shed. Additional site amenities will include renovation of the office and community room, addition of a sport court, barbecue grills and seating, and an upgraded playground. Ledge Capital has a proven track record of acquiring, renovating, and managing affordable housing projects across the U.S. To date, their portfolio consists of approximately 7,000 residential units in 11 states, with more than 2,700 residential units here in Texas, including recently completed projects in Longview, Lubbock, Austin, and San Antonio. Financing for the Sunset Apartments rehabilitation is made up of the 4% low-income housing tax credits and a tax-exempt bond transaction, which is part of the private activity bond cap from the Bond Review Board. We are currently awaiting a determination of tax credits from TDHCA. A resolution of no objection from the City Council is one of the vital components to securing those low-income housing tax credits. With the tax credits and the bond financing, we will be able to close the gap and be able to acquire the property and renovate it as I've described. As far as timing goes, we anticipate the award and closing on the 4% tax credits to happen this July. Ledge Capital intends to close on the apartment project concurrent with the close on the tax credits. Renovation at Sunset Apartments would begin approximately 1 week after closing, and we have an estimated timeline of 12 months to complete the renovations. In closing, we're dedicating a significant amount of time and resources to the long-term preservation of Sunset Apartments as an affordable housing solution for the residents of Texarkana. We believe this rehabilitation project will be great for this community, and we're asking you to support this resolution of no objection at your June 8th City Council meeting. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I have a question.
Matlock?
Yes, is this, are those air conditioning units in there? And if so, are they gonna have central air and heating?
They are going to be replacing all of the HVAC systems. At this point, I'm not sure whether they're going to be individual window units as you see currently in the project, or if it's going to be centralized. So there's still some budgetary items being worked out, but all of those things will be replaced.
So if they're having units, they're gonna be replaced. So when will we know if you're gonna have units or if you're gonna have central air and heat for each one of these?
I can get back to you with an answer to that very specific question.
Any other questions? Sounds like a good project.
Support.
Completely renovation of that project.
Yes.
So, very good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your time here this evening. Items 14, 15, and 16 are all related. Will be briefed by our city manager, Dr. David Orr. So I'll read them all together. Item 14 is resolution number 2026-085, establishing Chapter 312 tax abatement guidelines and criteria. Item 15 is ordinance number 2026-086, adopting Chapter 312 Reinvestment Zone 1, Project Prime Corner. And item number 16 is resolution number 2026-087, authorizing the city manager to execute a Chapter 312 tax abatement agreement with Lindem Solutions LLC for a commercial development project located at Summerhill Road and Moores Lane, with incentives in an amount not to exceed $360,960. Dr. Orr, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Council. So the Chapter 312 of the Texas Tax Code allows cities to offer tax abatements for economic development as a tool to encourage private development, job creation, and long-term improvements to the local tax base. The proposed guidelines outline eligibility requirements, investment thresholds, performance standards, compliance, and reporting expectations for participating projects. If approved, this approach will be used in combination with our existing Chapter 380 agreements, with Chapter 312 focused on property tax abatements for new improvements, while Chapter 380 continuing to focus on job-based incentives. Implementing this approach aligns the city with common practices across the state of Texas, also assists with the city's effective tax rate calculations, and aligns with current Bowie County practices as well. Council items 2026-086 and 087 revise the structure of the previously council-approved Chapter 380 agreement that was approved at the last meeting for the Summerhill Road and Morris Lane development by designating the Chapter 380 reinvestment zone for that property, along with separating the property tax abatement portion of the previous agreement under Chapter 312, while leaving the job-based incentives and the detention pond reimbursement under 380. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. Also have the map from the previous project as well that I'll pull up on the screen.
Any questions? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right. We have one more item under first briefings that'll be briefed by Mr. Keith Beeson. It pertains to resolution number 2026-088, approving and adopting the Parks and Trails Master Plan prepared by city staff and consultants from Norris Design. Good evening, Keith.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for your time today. As you all know, we have worked with Norris Design, who have helped us with our comprehensive plan in the past and on our Parks Master Plan over the past year and a half or so. And we have a final draft, and it's in your packet for this meeting, and it is up for vote in our next meeting on June 8th. And I just wanted to go through a couple of the highlights of that Parks Master Plan. As you know, this is a plan that will help guide our department for the next 20 years. So we want to make sure that the council is able to, review and feels good about our direction. We had 3 public hearings or public meetings with great participation, as well as online participation for a survey to see what our citizens wanted to see in the parks here in Texarkana. Why this matters, obviously, for several of us, or for most of us that work for the city, we understand that parks is not just green spaces. They are an economic driver, a public health resource, and a quality of life anchor that keeps families in Texarkana and drives families to Texarkana. Texarkana serves as a recreational radius of more than 50 miles, and our 13 parks and 440 acres of park land are a regional asset. The city has completed every goal of the last master plan, which was enacted in 2009, and it's time to set that next generation of goals. From what we gathered from the community and kind of some of the top asks, we're kind of on trend with what a lot of communities are looking for. Some of those include pedestrian trails, linking parks, linking schools, linking neighborhoods, and focusing on that active transportation piece for better access in our city. High priorities included more trees for shade, especially like in Wallace Park, Spring Lake Park. Other high priorities included a permanent multi-use event and entertainment facility, expanded sports facilities. Another thing that was mentioned several times was a specific Spring Lake Park master plan, and even talks about more of that kind of entertainment piece to draw families in. What the plan calls for, recommendations are organized into 3 priority tiers. That's 0 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, and 10 to 20 years. Across parks, trails, community centers, events, and facilities, with cost estimates identified and funding sources for each. An immediate need that has been brought up, again, is trails and alternate connectivity across our city. And then, of course, increase of accessibility. Wayfinding, signage, ADA compliance, or really mainly parking in a lot of our facilities and parks. Restroom upgrades, lighting improvements park-wide. Midterm, or kind of the middle tier priorities included expansion of the Southwest Center with like more pavilions and places for gatherings. Again, trails, pickleball courts were mentioned quite a bit. And then funding sources for several grants that would support a lot of what our citizens have requested. So the ask for our department and for our staff is that you all consider the Parks Master Plan for the next council meeting when we'll vote, and hopefully we'll be able to move forward on this exciting adventure and kind of wrap it all up with a good plan that I think will definitely move us and our staff forward for the next couple decades. So that's all I have. If anybody has any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Keith? Certainly want to thank you and the staff for putting together this proposal. I know we had input from our citizens. I believe this was last year. We had 2 or 3 public meetings, public gatherings to get input from the community. So appreciate the result of that input put in on paper, and we'll look forward to working on some of these projects. So.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay. This concludes our first briefings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to our public hearings portion of the agenda. Council, I would like, if it's your pleasure, I'd like to move item number 3 forward at the beginning, ordinance number 2026-056. This particular rezoning is in Ward 4. We've got a couple of options here. We can move forward with taking action on this item tonight. Since this location is in Council Member Page's ward, and she isn't able to be with us this evening to provide her input and listen to the input on this item, we can do one of 2 things. We can move forward with this item this evening and take action on it, or we can have a motion for postponement, move this item to our June 8th meeting, at which time we will have a public hearing on this item at that particular time. She isn't here. We're going to have an abstention on this item as well, and so it's the wishes of the council as far as how you would like to proceed.
I think we should wait on Councilmember Page.
Okay, so Ms. Hart, are you recommending a motion for postponement so that Councilmember Page can be present?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'm abstaining, so I don't have a say in this either, right?
Be up to Mr. Lewis for direction from our, you got your second?
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, okay. So we have a motion by Councilmember Hart. We have a second by Councilmember Davis for motion for postponement, which means this item will be placed on our June 8th agenda for a public hearing. We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. All right, so we will have a motion for postponement. I know that, yes, sir. One abstention. So Councilmember Thompson will be abstaining on this particular matter. And so we will have a public hearing on this item at our meeting in June. I know that there may be several of you in the audience who were planning on speaking on this item, so you're certainly welcome to leave at any time. You don't have to stay for the remainder of the council meeting, but we have moved item 3 up to the beginning. So any questions by the council or by the staff on this item? Okay, at this time, move along to item number 1, pertains to ordinance number 2026-054, approving the voluntary annexation by petition of landowner of an approximate 7.98 acre tract of land. Okay, let me start over. Item number 1 is ordinance number 2026-054, approving the voluntary annexation by petition of landowner of an approximate 7.98 acre tract of land, 11.05 acre tract of land in the George Brindley Headright Survey A-18, 3600 and 3701 Cooper Lane, to the city limits of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, and specifying a multiple family dwelling district, MF-1, zoning district classification, ATFAB, LLC owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, annexing by petition of landowner per development agreement the hereinafter described territory of an approximate 7.98 acre tract and 11.05 acre tract, 3600 to 3701 Cooper Lane, in the George Brindley HRS A-18, to the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, and extending the boundary limits of said city so as to include said hereinafter described territory within said city limits, granting to all the inhabitants of said territory all the rights and privileges of other citizens, binding said inhabitants by all of the acts, ordinances, resolutions, and regulations of said city, and the property therein bearing its pro rata part of the taxes levied by the city, assigning said territory to its adjoining ward, incorporating by reference the development agreement between city and landowner, specifying zoning district classification, providing for the filing of this ordinance with county records, and updating the city boundaries map, containing severability and superseding clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2026-055, granting a specific use permit to allow the one additional use of an off-premise outdoor advertising sign or billboard on Lot 1A, Arklatex Realty Subdivision, located at 4610 Gus Orr Drive in Ward 4. Joel Orr, owner. Chad Ship, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Metter. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-823 for the location of an off-premises outdoor advertising sign billboard on Lot 1A, replat of lots 1 and 2 of Arklatex Realty subdivision, located at 4610 Gus Orr Drive in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 4 is ordinance number 2026-060, rezoning on approximate 25.169 acre tract of land being Tract 95, S.H. Janes Headright Survey A-306, located in the 1000 block of South Bishop in Ward 2, from Planned Development Commercial to Planned Development Industrial. Russell Huckabee, owner. Zach Mowry, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Matlock. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
The City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas by rezoning on an approximate 25.169 acre tract of land, being Tract 95, J.S. Janes HRS A-306, located at South Bishop, south of Terry Street, in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Planned Development Commercial to Planned Development Industrial 1, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item 5 is ordinance number 2026-061, amending to PD-23-4 for site plan approval on an approximate 25.169 acre tract of land, being Tract 95, S.H. Janes Headright Survey A-306, located in the 1000 block of South Bishop in Ward 2, Russell Huckabee, owner, and Zach Mowry, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilmember Thompson. Ms. Evans, the caption.
Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending PD-23-4, PD-I-1 for site plan approval on an approximate 25.169 acre tract of land, being Tract 95, J.S. Janes HRS A-306, located at South Bishop, south of Terry Street, in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. We do have one more public hearing item. It's item number 6, ordinance number 2026-062, amending to PD-15-9 for site plan approval on an approximate 1.2 acre tract of land, being Tract 66A, George Brindley Headright Survey A-18, located at 4323 McKnight Road, Ward 4, Torrin Maracino, owner, and Joe Cruz, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. And please state your name for the record.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Witten with Witten Civil Engineering. I'm here to represent the applicant on this project and be happy to answer any questions that you have for me about it.
Well, good evening, Mr. Witten. Glad to have you with us
Thank
this
you.
evening. Any questions for Mr. Witten on this item? Okay, very good. Thank you for your time, sir. Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis, a second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending PD-15-9GR for site plan approval on an approximate 1.2 acre tract of land, 66A George Brindley HRS A-18, located at 4323 McKnight Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr?
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, our Budget Advisory Committee met for the first time last Tuesday, May 5th. Meeting went well, and we appreciate the discussion from our committee members. Our next meeting will be tomorrow, May 12th, here at City Hall. And just please mark your calendars for their joint meeting with the City Council, which will take place on Wednesday, May 27th at noon in this room. Also, just wanted to pass along that we have the opportunity to attend a virtual conference for Neighborhoods USA, NUSA, which many of our neighborhood associations participate in, and they're extending that invitation to other staff members as well as council and the mayor as well. That will take place Thursday, May 28th, and Friday, May 29th. It will be held at the David Nelson Room at the Texarkana Public Library. And so if you would like to participate, please contact Chiquita Burks in our Planning and Community Development Office, and she'll assist with your registration. And then just a couple of save the dates to pass along tonight. First off, this Friday, we'll have the Freeman Custis Red River Expedition Historical Marker Dedication Ceremony. Again, that'll take place this Friday, May 15th at 10 a.m. at Shepherd Park. That's across from the U.S. Federal Courthouse and Post Office. As a part of the event, the city will have the opportunity to welcome New York Times bestselling author Dr. Dan Flores, whose book I have with me tonight is called The Southern Counterpart to the Lewis and Clark Expedition, the Freeman Custis Expedition of 1806. And has helped bring renewed interest to the expedition's significance. And so we'll have the author here. He'll also be signing books, I think at a local coffee shop, and also working with our museum system. And then final save the date is Tunnel to Towers. This is hosted by both Texarkana Fire Departments, and Chief Black is leading our efforts, and we appreciate all the work that he's put into this event. It'll take place on Wednesday, June the 3rd at 11 a.m. at downtown at the Federal Courthouse. Also have a flyer on the screen about it, but this is a really special opportunity. This is the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and so this will be a remembrance for that. There are 35 cities nationwide that are a part of this in 21 states, and it also includes a little bit of Texarkana as a part of this because Leadwell has made the trailer that will carry the piece of steel from the World Trade Center around the country. And so we have the opportunity to be one of those 35 cities on the stop. Again, that is June the 3rd at 11 a.m. downtown. So encourage everyone to attend that. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Orr. Appreciate those upcoming events and dates that you've shared with us for opportunities to participate. At this time, move along to administrative comments. Any comments by the council this evening to the staff? Everything going smoothly in your wards, Mr. Davis?
I was just going to share some praise. Had the opportunity to fly out of and fly back to Texarkana from our regional airport, and incredible facility and just great customer service, extremely convenient, and I thoroughly appreciated that because I was in Tucson, Arizona at 5 a.m. this morning.
Well, you've had a long day.
I have had a long day.
Because they're, what, 2 hours behind us?
Yes.
Wow, so, okay, probably caught yourself coming and going, so, all right, very good. Any other comments from the council this evening?
I have a question.
Ms. Matlock?
How long is that budget meeting tomorrow?
Typically about an hour, so 12 to 1.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, and then you're wanting us here on the 27th, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, at noon.
And we, of course, every year we do have council members that stop in for the
Sure.
first two meetings, so you're more than welcome to attend those meetings.
Right.
I will say I think our first meeting ran a little bit long, maybe 1:15, 1:20-ish. So it just depends. Tomorrow's topic will be on Texarkana water utilities, as we do every year. So we'll discuss water tomorrow.
Okay.
Primarily, yes, unless there's questions from the committee on other topics.
Anything else from the council? Okay, very good. Well, now, any final comments from the city staff, David? Okay, very good. All right, unless there's if there's not any other business brought before the council, at this time I will entertain a motion for adjournment. We have an emphatic motion by Councilmember Hart and then a second by Councilmember Matlock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you all for being here this evening, and I certainly hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.